I'm Des Moines Register sports reporter Tommy Birch. I'm here with wrestling reporter Andy Hamilton. We're at Wells Fargo Arena where they're kind of packing up house here and we're kind of capping off the day. We're going to go through kind of the highlights from today. And Andy, you took care of 3A. Uh, where do we stand on the team race right now?
Bettendorf's out front with 34 points, 7 ahead of second place Linmar, Iowa City West, Southeast Polk not far behind. Bettendorf won 9 of its 11 opening round matches, 7 by fall, and is off to a good start. But the Bulldogs are running into some tough draws tomorrow. It's going to be a day that we're going to get some clarity to this team race. Tomorrow morning, tomorrow evening in 3A. But right now, it's in Bettendorf's hands.
What are some of the individual performances that kind of stood out to you?
Well, you start at heavyweight with Nick Terpstra of Cedar Falls, a guy that had lost twice to top-ranked Tyler Burrell of Cedar Rapids, Washington. Found a way to beat him today, 6-5, in a wild heavyweight match. Terpstra scores a late takedown, mistakenly loses track of the score, and cuts Burrell loose with 1 second to go to force overtime, and then winds up winning it in a tiebreaker. That was the big upset in 3A, and besides that, John Meeks rolls on with a major decision to improve to 165-0. Corey Clark, his 4-time state championship bid is still intact. He cruised in the second round with a technical fault, 126. Switching over to 2A, Tommy had that class today. What's the team race looking like there?
It's pretty tight right now. Davenport Assumption, which came in with a ton of wrestlers, they advanced, I think, 6 guys with pretty much ease. Denver Triple Eyes right into the mix there, and so is Creston Orient Maxburg, which brought a lot of guys there. So next couple of days are kind of going to decide where each of those 3 teams end up, and right now it's going 1, 2, 3. It could bounce. Kind of everybody could switch roles by the end of the day tomorrow.
How about individually? What stood out today?
That's pretty easy. I think the 2 that really stood out were Jake Marlowe and Brandon Sorensen. Both those guys are juniors that are gunning for their 3rd straight state championship. They won easily. They both picked up pins just over a minute. So I guess while we're in the middle of it thinking about Meeks and Clark's gunning for their 4th, these are 2 guys that, a year from now, they're probably going to be in the same situation. So those are the 2 that stood out. There aren't too many guys that are going for multiple state championships in 2A. There are a few, but those guys are the big name ones going for 3. Then I know you had kind of cap off the day, you had 1A. Talk a little bit about the team race there, too.
Yeah, we just wrapped up the 1A session tonight. Eddyville Blakesburg, unranked, coming in, is out front, leading the 1A session with 19 points, has a 1-point lead over Alburnett, which went 6 for 6. Eddyville Blakesburg, big story. Obviously, Megan Black becoming the first girl in state history to win a contested tournament match here. A major decision winner at 106, and a couple freshmen for the Rockets stepping up, Blake Maroff and Jaron Glosser, a pair that combined 94 and 5 this year. Both guys won by fall, so those bonus points are big right now. It's been a volatile race in 1A all season long. We've had 4 teams that have been number 1 at one point this year. 6 different teams have been in the top 3, and we're seeing that so far in the team race. As I mentioned earlier, Alburnett had a great round. Tyler Shalista had a 54-second pin. The 2-time state champ hasn't lost to a 1A wrestler in the last 2 years. He's on a roll. Hunter Washburn remained undefeated at 106, and Alburnett again off to a great start, along with Eddyville Blakesburg and Don Bosco not far behind.
Kind of the story in 1A was Megan Black. Are there any other performances kind of besides her that stood out to you?
Yeah, I mentioned the Eddyville Blakesburg freshmen and Washburn and Shalista from Alburnett, but Sam Bowers was the guy that kind of stole the show for Alburnett tonight. A guy that comes in unranked, first-time state qualifier, and knocks off number 1 Chris Bridgeford in a wild match at 195. Bowers got out to a 9-1 lead in the second period. Kind of an upper body situation where he took Bridgeford to his back for 5 early and forced Bridgeford to play catch up. It looked like he was going to come up and maybe come all the way back, and then he got it to 9-7 with in the final minute and had the legs in on top and was trying to crank Bowers over, and Bowers managed to come out of that and reverse him to his back and win 15-9.
Cool. I think that should be about do it. Can check back to DesMoinesRegister.com for our stories. We'll have a live blog and Mark Hansen's column from Megan Black's first win. So check that out.
Well done, Tommy.